So glad you can join us today on a Sunday afternoon for the Coke Zero Sugar 400 here at Daytona International Speedway on the Motor Racing Network alongside NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace and Jeff Striegel. I'm Alex Hayden. Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Kurt Becker are calling the action out in the corners today. Winston Kelly, Steve Post, Dillon Welch, and Kim Kuhn are working things out in the garage area.
Trouble turn number 3. Kevin Harvick is up and into the outside wall. Tire let loose on his Ford Mustang. He goes up and just pounds the safer barrier in turn 3.
Harvick had some damage on his car a little bit earlier on after an incident there. He's going to slowly work his way back to the front. Now we
Trouble turn 1. Austin Dillon gets turned. They are tearing it up in the middle of the pack. Bowyer is head on into the wall. Joey Logano spins into it. Martin Truex Jr. is in it. Kyle Busch gets nailed. Chase Elliott torn up down on the apron. A multi-car crash, 15 or more after Austin Dillon, the leader, gets turned midway between 1 and 2.
Tough break over in turns 1 and 2. Austin Dillon was the race leader when they passed the start-finish line, but Dave Moody, when he got to turn 1, that wasn't the case.
No, it was like a landmine erupted at the front of the pack. Dillon's car got spun sideways, went down to the yellow line at the bottom, then reversed course and came right back up the racetrack, gathering up 12 to 15 cars minimum. The Chris Buescher machine pulling away from the scene. He's got serious damage on his car. Clint Bowyer climbing out of his machine, or attempting to at this moment. That car all torn to pieces. The Chase Elliott machine demolished on the apron. Parker Kligerman demolished on the apron. Austin Dillon and a couple of others as well that are going to be unable to pull away.
Well, we talked about the big one. Is it going to happen? It just happened. A lot of cars, and we were just watching Kevin Harvick up in the wall in turn 3 and 4. I wonder if maybe there was anticipation a caution was going to fall, and that kind of startled everybody. I'm not for sure. But one thing for sure, Alex and Jeff, we just witnessed a big one here at Daytona during this 400-mile race.
Yeah, we did, and it started at the front of the field when Austin Dillon got turned going down in the middle of turns number 1. Hey, a few moments ago, we asked you to participate in an MRN fan vote that was presented by Quality Inn Hotels. Win a trip for 2 to next year's Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. Enter now at qualityinn.com. The question we asked you was, who do you think would win the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Keep in mind, this was a few laps ago. 51% of the vote leading the way said Austin Dillon was going to win. Yeah, not so much now. Austin Dillon's car is wadded up after the big crash over in turns 1 and 2. Next MRN fan vote, you simply need to go to mrn.com/vote to be a part of the discussion. Log on and you could win $250 for being a part of the poll. Just a few laps ago, as a matter of fact, 18 laps ago, there was a money line caution that fell, and then Kurt Busch was a lap down. He got the beneficiary free pass. Suddenly, he is the new race leader here at Daytona after the big crash.
We'll take you downstairs along pit road here in just a moment. There's been a number of cars there, but let's just recap for you some of the cars. I'm sure I don't have them all that were involved over there in turn 1. They include, at the time, Austin Dillon, the race leader, and Clint Bowyer, who was going after the lead, working down to his inside. Both of them involved. Ryan Preece, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Parker Kligerman, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Chris Buescher, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I'm probably missing somebody.
Well, and you might have run out of ink.
I did.
Trying to write all those down. It was a big
paper.
one. Rusty, you've had the opportunity, courtesy of the ISM Vision screens here, to take a look at this one multiple times.
Oh, I tell you, I looked at this one just like you said, and what happened here is Clint Bowyer had a big run going on Austin Dillon. Clint went to the bottom to try to pass Austin, and Austin simply just went down to try to do a block, and unfortunately for Austin, it was a late block, and as he pulled down, he got his left rear quarter panel into Bowyer's right front fender, and that started the whole thing. They started spinning up into the wall, and all the cars you just mentioned, the big wreck. And I'll tell you what, this was a big one, guys, no doubt about it, but we've had so much talk about blocking, and today this took 4 or 5 cars out early from blocking, and now it took a ton out.
Maybe 14 or more cars involved, and you might call this a radar block gone wrong. We've got weather in the area. The teams know it. The drivers know it. They're trying to get out front. Bowyer trying to do that on Austin Dillon. It didn't work, and now both of those cars are destroyed. A 17-car crash over in turn number 1 has put us under the money line caution. Now with 36 laps to go, 17 cars involved. Some of them have been on pit road. And just a lap ago, Winston Kelly, they opened up pit road for everybody who was not involved. And we saw a number of cars take advantage.
Well, my lead lap cars were on pit road. It was Ryan Newman Came in, got 4 tires in Sunoco fuel. Everybody else on this end of pit road is a lap or more down. Joey Logano, heavy damage to the rear bumper cover of his Shell Pennzoil car. They've got that bumper cover kind of taped up with bright silver tape on the back of that yellow and red Ford Mustang. So he's going to be able to limp along, but that's about all we can say about it. Ryan Blaney is retired, but the only one that we had on this end of pit road, Ryan Newman, 4 tires in Sunoco fuel. Steve Post?
My lead lap undamaged cars came in and got fuel only, and that's J.J. Yaley and Ty Dillon. Now, I've got a bunch of cars on pit road. Denny Hamlin may still be on the lead lap. Eric Almirolas had damage from an earlier wreck. They were both in and pitted, but they are both wadded up race cars. Beyond that, it's carnage down here. Truex Jr.'s car actually looks like it may be one of the few that has 4 fenders left on it. They're working on that car as well, but mostly the walking wounded here in the midsection of pit road. Dylan Welch, how about in front of you?
Well, the race leaders that are left in my end are 2 of the Hendrick Motorsports cars. William Byron was in, as well as Jimmy Johnson, and they opted for fuel only. The race leader, Kurt Busch, stayed out. They are keeping an eye on the weather and have just kind of decided that they're going to stay out as long as they can, and if they have to come down and pit, they have to come down and pit, but they're going to try to stretch it out as long as they can here. And there was some discussion, though, about maybe coming back down a lap later and getting tires because of all the debris on the back straightaway, but for now they've opted out of that and they'll keep their track position once we go back green.
One driver elected to stay on the racetrack during that exchange of pit stops. He continues to be shown as the race leader, and that is Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch and Landon Castle, your top 2 as we are still under the money line caution. This is the 6th money line caution of the afternoon, and it was for the big crash over in turns 1 and 2 when the leader, Austin Dillon, well, he and Clint Bowyer, first 2 cars got together, and I'm sure there are 2 different versions of what happened out there, maybe even 3. Clint's version, Austin's version, and the truth. We'll find out here in just a little bit as those drivers have all been taken down to the Care Center, and we hope to hear from them here in just another moment or so.
So why don't we take you down? We'll get a Blue Emu Care Center report. There are a number of drivers that are coming out of the Care Center right now. And Kim, you're about to get very busy down there.
Yeah, Clint Bowyer has been released from the Care Center. Clint and Austin Dillon made contact at the front of the field, kind of a chain reaction after that. What could you tell us from your seat?
Yeah, I guess he didn't want me to pass him. It was just, I don't know. I got under him and he blocked, and we got together. I got off of him, moved down and get off of him, and here he come back down even more and just finally wrecked us all. But, it's just part of racing like this.
That's a disappointed Clint Bowyer describing that incident he had with Austin Dillon at the front of the field that took a number of drivers out of the race here today.
So we will continue to work very slowly under the money line caution flag. Again, weather is in the area. Hopefully it will bypass us. And in case you missed it, Alex Hayden gave you the top 5 a moment ago. And how about the names that are in it?